These are 7 top stocks in pre-market with big percentage move today. Our review on TGL. Treasure Global Incorporated had a pre-market party this morning, up as much as 77%, with 2 big breakouts, one around 30%, followed by another 35%, before the stock cooled off and reversed heading into regular hours. So what was behind all that action? Treasure Global, which operates the City app, an O2O e-commerce platform in Malaysia that leans on instant rebates, cashback, and AI to drive personalized deals, announced an exclusive partnership with Metsify. Metsify is a name that carries weight in the digital coupon world, and this partnership gives Treasure Global exclusive rights to distribute Metsify's digital coupon platform in Malaysia. That's a big swing at capturing a piece of what Metsify says is a $40 billion global market. In the near term, the company expects this deal could bring in $2 to $4 million in recurring annual revenue just within the first 12 months. And for a smaller cap name like TGL, that's material. It also positions them strongly as digital loyalty and coupon demand continues to rise in Malaysia. Now, about that fade, some of that sharp pre-market move was probably retail momentum and profit-taking once the bell rang. It's a pretty common pattern for these low-float names that gap hard on news. But underneath all that volatility, this deal could be a step toward Treasure Global building a more stable, recurring revenue base, something investors will definitely be watching as it plays out in future earnings. Our review on MIRA. MIRA Pharmaceuticals Incorporated is a preclinical biotech developing next-gen treatments for neurological and neuropsychiatric conditions. Their lead candidate, ketamine 2, is an oral ketamine analog being studied for treatment-resistant depression, PTSD, and neuropathic pain, without the dissociative effects of traditional ketamine. This morning, shares jumped as much as 35% in pre-market trading after the company released promising new animal data. In a validated model of diabetic neuropathy, ketamine 2 significantly reduced nerve pain symptoms, with some rats returning completely to pre-diabetic sensitivity. Huge, considering current meds like gabapentin often fall short and come with tough side effects. MIRA is still in Phase 1, but expects to kick off a Phase 2A trial for diabetic neuropathy by year-end, with human data expected mid-2026. They're also developing a slow-release topical version and running studies in PTSD models. The pending acquisition of SKNY Pharmaceuticals adds a weight loss and smoking cessation drug to the pipeline, plus a $5 million capital boost. Even though the stock faded back toward the open, the 35% pre-market breakout on the PR shows there's real interest brewing around MIRA's pipeline. Our review on SPEV. Splash Beverage Group Incorporated is a portfolio-style beverage company that goes after up-and-coming or overlooked drink brands and tries to scale them through its growing distribution network. They've got a mix of alcoholic and non-alcoholic products in the lineup. Think Pulpo Loco Sangria from Spain, Copa di Vino single-serve wine, salt tequila, and a tap-out performance drink. They also run a direct-to-consumer and business-to-business e-commerce platform through their Clash division. Now, this morning, Splash was, splashing around a bit in the pre-market, up as much as 42% with a pretty sharp 35% breakout midway through the session. No official press release dropped yet, but when you see a move like that without any fresh headline, it often points to some speculative buzz or momentum traders piling in. Sometimes it's a sympathy play, sometimes it's rumors, and sometimes it's just technical breakout energy catching fire for a small cap name like this. Given Splash's history of sporadic volume and volatile moves, this kind of spike isn't unheard of. But unless we get a catalyst, like a big new distribution deal, acquisition, or some fresh financials, it's worth watching how long this move holds up once the opening bell rings. Still, it's one of those names that traders love to keep on the radar, especially when volume lights up like this. Our review on NB. NioCorp Developments Ltd is a mineral exploration and development company focused on critical minerals that are in pretty high demand these days: niobium, scandium, titanium, and possibly even rare earth elements. Their big play is the Elk Creek project in southeastern Nebraska, which is one of the only shovel-ready projects of its kind in North America, and it's sitting on some of the highest-grade niobium resources around. If you're watching the materials space, especially as the U.S. continues pushing for domestic critical mineral supply chains, this name is definitely on the radar. This morning, shares of NioCorp are popping, up around 24% in the pre-market. There's no new press release out yet, so this move could be riding on broader sentiment around rare earths or critical minerals, or possibly a spillover from sector news. Sometimes these names get swept up when there's buzz about government funding, policy shifts, or just momentum flowing into the EV supply chain narrative. For NioCorp specifically, any renewed focus on U.S.-based critical mineral sourcing tends to light a fire under the stock, especially with how strategically located and de-risked their project already is. So whether this is traders front-running potential news or just a technical bounce, it's worth keeping an eye on, especially if volume follows through into the regular session. Our review on OMEX. Odyssey Marine Exploration Incorporated is out there doing some pretty fascinating work exploring and developing seafloor mineral resources. They've got a diversified mineral portfolio, including some pretty high-potential projects like the Exploration's Oceanicus Phosphate Project and the Leher Gold Project. These projects tap into valuable minerals, and given the world's growing focus on critical resources, Odyssey's positioning is definitely one to keep an eye on. Now, let's talk stock action. This morning, Odyssey stock is up about 21% in pre-market trading. But what's really grabbing attention is the late pre-market action. After a downtrend earlier in the session, the stock shot up with a 35% breakout before reversing course as we head into the regular market open. That kind of volatility can signal some quick moves, and it's a sign of the kind of speculative swings that are common in this space, especially with a company like Odyssey, which deals in high-risk, high-reward projects. So what does this mean for investors? Well, the quick 35% move could suggest there was some news or momentum driving that jump, but the reversal might indicate that the excitement has settled down a bit. If the price stabilizes around these levels, it could mean more sustained interest, but if it falls back, we might see a bit of a pullback. Investors should watch how the stock behaves once regular hours hit to gauge if this breakout is a one-off or a sign of more action to come. Our review on HTZ. Hertz Global Holdings Incorporated, a leader in car rental and mobility solutions with brands like Hertz, Dollar, and Thrifty, is experiencing a notable 19% surge in pre-market trading. This uptick comes after Bill Ackman's Pershing Square Capital disclosed a hefty stake in the company, 12.7 million shares valued at $46.5 million. This move has definitely caught the market's attention and is sparking renewed optimism, especially since Hertz has faced struggles in recent years, including falling short of earnings expectations in its last quarter. Despite its rocky performance, Hertz has been focusing on stabilizing and transforming its business, with CEO Gil West expressing confidence that the company's strong foundation in 2024 will enable a recovery in 2025. Although the stock is still down about 43% from last year, the announcement of Pershing Square's involvement is offering some encouragement. With Q1 2025 financial results expected soon and analysts forecasting a loss, the boost from Pershing Square's stake could signal potential for a turnaround. While the pre-market spike is promising, investors should still tread carefully and keep an eye on how the stock performs when the regular trading hours start. Our review on BCTX. BriaCell Therapeutics Corporation, a clinical-stage biotech company focused on developing novel immunotherapies to treat cancer, saw a notable 18% jump in pre-market trading after releasing impressive Phase 2 survival data. This data showed that its lead candidate, BriaCell, combined with checkpoint inhibitors, is outperforming the current standard of care in hormone receptor-positive metastatic breast cancer patients. The survival outcomes from BriaCell exceeded those of established ADC treatments like Trodelvy, which is a big win for the company. However, despite the strong pre-market gains, the stock experienced wild swings, including a sharp 40% breakout on the news, only to reverse and trend downwards toward early regular market hours. This suggests that while the data is encouraging, investor sentiment remains volatile, and the stock's movements are subject to fluctuation as more details from the study continue to unfold. It'll be interesting to see if the positive news can sustain longer-term momentum or if further swings are ahead. Please subscribe, give the video a like, and watch more from our playlist. Thanks.